Traditional software team structures were designed for AI collaboration. When you assign individual tasks and let people work in isolation with AI, you lose the continuous alignment that makes AI-driven development actually work. What if instead of managing a large distributed team, you could build a small, cohesive unit that moves together like passengers in a taxi, all heading to the same destination with AI as your skilled driver? My name is Derick Chen, and this is BuildWithDC. Hi, I'm Derick Chen. I lead the AWS AI-driven development lifecycle program across 7 APJ countries, which I built and scaled from the ground up. Working directly with customers across industries, I've helped teams achieve 5 to 20 times faster development velocity by reimagining the software development lifecycle. I share these results on the AWS reInvent stage. And in this series, I'll break down exactly how they were achieved, the trade-offs, and how you can start applying them in your very own organization. In the last video, we covered the AI DLC methodology. So today, I'm going to show you how to structure your team to actually implement it with what I call taxi teams. Let me explain why I call them taxi teams, because this analogy perfectly captures how AI-driven development lifecycle works in practice. Think about riding in a taxi. You've got limited seats, typically 4 to 6 passengers max. Everyone in the taxi is going to the same destination. You've got a skillful driver who knows the roads, handles the navigation, and gets you there efficiently. But here's the key difference from a normal taxi ride. Backseat driving isn't just welcome, it's essential. You will be constantly giving directions, pointing out the shortcuts, and making sure that the driver or our AI takes the optimal route. This is exactly how taxi teams work with AI. The entire team moves together towards the same destination, your business outcomes, based on your customer needs. The AI serves as your skilled driver, handling the complex execution and navigation to get there efficiently. But the team provides guidance, corrects, and validates AI's route from time to time to ensure that you arrive at the exact right destination at the right time. So why does team size matter so much? Every additional team member introduces communication overhead that kills velocity. Think about it. If you've got 10 people trying to give directions to the driver, you're going to have chaos. But with 4 to 6 people, you can have real-time collaboration and alignment without the noise and the extra collaboration steps. This isn't just theory. In practice, we found that teams larger than 6 people spend more time coordinating than actually building. The sweet spot is having just the essential expertise needed to guide AI suggestions and validate outputs across all phases. So who sits in your taxi? The composition depends on your domain complexity, but there are 2 core roles with clear ownership. The first is what I call the product behavior lead. This person leads and owns the inception phase. They lead what we call the mob elaboration ceremonies, focusing on behavioral requirements analysis and business context definition. They also own the test plan creation to validate these behaviors. If your project has complex business logic but simple technical implementations, you might consider having multiple personnel in this role. The second is software system lead. This person leads and owns the construction phase from a technical angle. They lead the mob programming ceremonies, guiding architectural decisions and technical implementation strategy. For technically complex projects with straightforward business requirements, you will emphasize this role. And of course, there are supporting specialists. Domain experts join as needed based on the project requirements. For example, a data scientist might participate during the construction phase of a machine learning project, or a security specialist for a fintech application. If very specialized testing is required beyond what a core team can handle, then QA specialists can be brought in as well. Decentralized teams accelerate each individual taxi teams by providing shared tools, reusable artifacts, and company-wide practices. For example, the platform teams handle the deployment pipelines and developer tooling. UI/UX teams provide design systems and interface expertise. This lets taxi teams focus on building business logic while leveraging proven solutions. The organization maintains internal consulting capabilities. where specialists can be engaged across multiple taxi teams as needed. This includes performance engineers, security experts, compliance specialists, and other domain experts who provide guidance without being permanently assigned to individual teams. Team composition matches the domain complexity. It's not a fixed structure. We're not trying to check boxes here. You're assembling the minimum viable expertise to guide AI effectively, supplemented by centralized teams and internal consulting as needed. Now, what about role ownership by phase? During the inception phase, the product behavior lead drives decisions on behavior requirements with full team's collaboration. During the construction phase, the software systems lead drives architectural decisions and then focuses more on the implementation details once the strategic decisions is decided upon. Quality validation happens across all phases, led by whichever team member has the most relevant expertise for that specific validation need. This isn't about hierarchies, but it's about clear accountability and ownership. Everyone knows who's driving each phase, and the whole team stays engaged throughout. And we must talk about the new activities, right? The biggest changes from traditional development is what we call the mob activities. Traditionally, you assign individual tasks, people working in isolation, then you try to integrate everything later on. The result? Misaligned efforts, integration issues, and costly reworks. But it makes sense in the past, because creating these artifacts and coming out with these designs took so much time, and review was relatively quick. But now that asymmetry has been flipped completely. AI can assist us in creating these artifacts and source code and design plans in a matter of seconds, while verification is now taking more time. So the entire taxi team participates together in every critical step of the development process. This is a fundamental shift in how teams will collaborate. Instead of working separately and hoping things fit together, you ensure continuous alignment and shared understanding from the very start. This may sound counterintuitive at first to involve different roles in all the steps, but every team member contributes their expertise in real time while the AI generates artifacts. You get immediate feedback loops that eliminate costly reworks from misaligned individual efforts. Think about it this way. Would you rather discover that your product behavior lead and your software systems lead have different understandings of the requirements after 2 weeks of separate work, or catch that misalignment in the real time during a 2-hour collaborative session? The mob approach maximizes both human expertise and AI capabilities. The humans in the room provide strategic guidance and expertise and knowledge from different domains to validate AI's solution. AI handles the routine artifact creation. The result is higher quality outputs and faster iteration cycles and complete team alignment on every single decision. Now let's walk through the key mob ceremonies, starting with mob elaboration during the inception phase. The product behavior lead guides the entire team through the collaborative behavior requirement analysis. But here's where it gets interesting. AI serves as an active participant, not just a tool. During this planning step, AI suggests approaches for requirement analysis. It might ask something like, should we consider multi-tenant architecture for this user management system? Or what about offline capabilities for mobile users? During execution, AI creates user stories, acceptance criteria, and specification documents in real time while the team applies human insights and business context validation. And during validation, the team immediately reviews and validates the output to ensure that it captures true business intent. The business context you establish here becomes the foundation for all subsequent AI guidance. You're not just writing requirements, you're building the shared understanding that both humans and AI will reference throughout development. And for the outcomes, you can be flexible in the formats. It can be user stories or PRDs, acceptance criteria, and business specifications that everyone can understand. And the next is mob programming during the construction phase. The software systems lead directs AI to suggest architectural solutions during the planning phase, and the team review these suggestions together to make sure that they are on track for the right execution. The review is not done individually, but together in real time. Once the team agrees on the strategic and the technical design, AI would then generate the implementation code during the execution. The team can then focus on the lower level implementation verifications. But here's what's different from traditional code reviews. You're doing real-time code review together with your teammates and verify the quality as the code is being generated. You catch the issues immediately by combining both the manpower and the experience and areas of expertise from multiple engineers to match the speed of AI generation. The magic happens because AI has just the right amount of context from mob elaboration. It knows your business requirements, your domain model, and architectural decisions. It's not generating code in a vacuum based on open source GitHub best practices. It's working from shared understanding that you built together. And for the outcomes, you will have the architectural decisions, technical artifacts, implementation code, and integrated testing suites that align your strategic intent. Quality validation happens continuously throughout the process, with team members contributing their expertise and bringing in specialists when needed for complex testing scenarios. And now let's discuss a little bit on how knowledge actually flows between these ceremonies. During the inception phase, your product requirements serve as a context reference for construction. During the construction phase, you transform business requirements into domain design, which then becomes the input for logical design. Your domain model and logical design capture all the details from your product requirements and provide the starting point for both mob programming and mob testing. All of these artifacts or documentation or specs, whatever you call it, get reviewed together by the whole team to ensure the shared understanding. These artifacts are also checked into your codebase to be updated and referenced for future iterations. In fact, the artifacts always get updated first before any implementation is changed. This prevents the classic problem of documentation and code diverging into conflict realities. When your docs live with your code and gets updated together, they stay aligned. Each ceremony builds the context on the previous one, and the AI always has the right amount of context to execute effectively. So why does the taxi team structure with mob ceremonies actually work? The taxi team structure works extremely well with these mob ceremonies. Firstly, there's continuous alignment. Instead of discovering misalignment after weeks of separate work, you maintain alignment throughout development. And there's faster feedback loops. Issues get caught and corrected in real time, not during the integration phase. And we can also optimize AI guidance. AI will always get the right context because the whole team contributes to building that context together. And this helps to reduce the rework needed as well. When everyone understands the requirements, design, and implementation together, you eliminate costly rework from miscommunication. And of course, this process facilitates knowledge sharing. Not a single person becomes a bottleneck or a tribal knowledge leader because everyone participates in every critical decision. This isn't just about using AI more effectively. It's about fundamentally changing how teams collaborate to maximize both human expertise and AI output. So here's what you need to remember. Taxi teams work because they're small enough to avoid communication overhead, cross-functional enough to guide AI effectively, and collaborative enough to maintain continuous alignment. The mob ceremony approach ensures that behavior requirements, technical decisions, and quality validations all happen together, creating that shared understanding that makes AI-driven development actually work. When you need specialized experts, whether it's advanced testing or UI design or domain-specific knowledge, you can leverage on centralized teams and internal consulting without bloating your core team. And naturally, the next question will be, how would you operate this new team structure? What are the tools you need, and how do you transit from your current way of working? And we'll cover that in the next video, where I will show you the artifact techniques that will make all of this possible and seamless. So thanks for watching. If you like my content, remember to subscribe to the channel. My name is Derick Chen, and this is BuildWithDC.